We now turn to another police shooting also under investigation. This one in Spotsylvania County, Virginia. Isaiah Brown, no apparent relation to Andrew Brown, on whom we just reported, but this is an entirely different instance of yet another unarmed black man who was shot by law enforcement. Isaiah Brown is in intensive care tonight, shot 10 times by a deputy responding to a domestic incident, apparently mistaking a cordless house phone for a gun. The deputy warned body camera footage and the 911 call have both been released. Take a listen.
Show me your hands now! Show me your hands! Drop the gun! He's got a gun to his head. Drop the gun now! Stop walking towards me! Stop walking towards me! Stop! Stop!
You hear that gunfire there. At the time, Brown was on the phone with a 911 dispatcher reporting an argument with his brother, and Brown is heard saying that he wants to kill his brother, but later telling the dispatcher that he did not have a gun. The deputy who fired those shots has been placed on administrative leave. Tonight, we bring in Isaiah Brown's sister, Yolanda Brown, and their family attorney, David Haynes. Thank you both so much for joining us. Ms. Brown, first, just want to get a sense from you how your brother's doing tonight, and if you can share what doctors are saying.
Actually, I just had to sign more paperwork. It looks like we have to have another procedure done tomorrow. Vital signs are still kind of up and down, and he's still on the breathing machine, and they're trying to slowly slow it down a little bit, but right now it's still seriously touch and go. And
he's in critical condition at this point?
It goes back and forth. One day it could be stable, the next day it's critical. The last 2 days has not been 2 good days.
And help us understand what was happening when your brother was shot. The deputy gave him a ride home, and then he was fighting with your brother when the deputy mistook a phone for a gun?
Yes.
Have you gotten any other details beyond that?
As far as they weren't really arguing, he was just trying to get him to calm down and trying to figure out, you know, why were you calling the police back to get back to your car? And then that's when it just went completely different. It wasn't really a fight or argument between the brothers. It was just trying to get him to calm down to figure out, maybe we can call somebody else to try to get back to the car, but it just didn't really work out that way before he got upset.
And Mr. Haynes, you've talked about the failure in policing here. Walk us through what you think went wrong.
Well, there were a number of errors. I think one of the biggest things that stands out is there appears to have been a failure of communication between 911 dispatch and the deputy who was dispatched to the scene. Another unique fact of the case is that this deputy had given Mr. Brown a ride within the past hour from his car, so he had an opportunity to observe him, see that he was not violent, not agitated, and not armed. Also, what is unique about the case is that, as you mentioned, he was on the phone with 911 at the time on a cordless phone, and he was unarmed. And so there were some communication issues. The deputy, I think, thought he was arriving to a different situation than what he was in fact arriving to. And we believe that there are serious failures on the part of dispatch, because they had over 90 seconds to really apprise him that Isaiah had said clearly he was unarmed and had no weapon. So those were issues. Once the deputy did arrive on scene, he was by himself. He basically escalated the situation, unfortunately, instead of trying to de-escalate the situation. There were a number of things he could have done regarding light the scene better, wait for backup, and use the communication through the 911 operator, none of which he did. And he very quickly made the assumption that the cordless phone was a gun and shot multiple times, tragically.
And Ms. Brown, your family, along with the ACLU, pressed for the release of that 911 recording. Tell us why it was so important that the public hear what was said that day.
Well, it was just a lot going on, and it just seemed like the story was trying to go in the way of the officer, and I knew otherwise. So I just wanted Isaiah's name to be remembered or known as something better than what they was trying to portray him to be.
And if I may add, we have just asked for full transparency the entire time. And we've also asked that Additional will be filing a formal request that there is additional audio, which between the dispatch and the deputy himself, which has not been released, as well as the transcript of what was being communicated to him in the squad car. So we are calling on the authorities to release that, and we'll be filing a formal request immediately.
And beyond that, do you have legal plans, Mr. Haynes?
Well, at this time, we're praying for his recovery, of course, number one. And secondly, we will be filing those information requests to get that information. We do understand, well, a special prosecutor has been appointed, and we do understand that she is reviewing the potential of charges against the deputy. Of course, the family is hopeful and expecting that criminal charges be brought against him. And then at that time, we'll monitor the criminal case and also be looking at all available options as well, and assisting Isaiah through what we hope will be a successful physical recovery.
And lastly, Ms. Brown, for those of us who have not had a chance to ever know Isaiah, how would you describe him to people who've never had the opportunity to meet him?
Isaiah was the life of the party. He always wanted to have fun. He loved to laugh. He loves music. He loves everyone. He's just a caring person. If you called on Isaiah, he would be there.
And you said do you get the sense that he'll pull through?
I'm praying, and yes.
Ms. Brown and Mr. Haynes, we thank you so much for your time. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.